This is JP with Central Idaho Mountain Weather. It's August 24th, 2026. Looking at the infrared this morning, you can see moisture streaming up into our area. This has kind of been the layout for the last few weeks, where we have this area high pressure over the four corner states, and then lows over to our west, and that's kind of helping just be the catalyst for this moisture coming around that high into our area and giving us these afternoon thunder showers. Isel is a tropical storm that's going to develop into a hurricane over the next day. That track is looking like it's going to come further out this direction and away from mainland, but there are some other disturbances that might roll their way up through Baja in the next week. So a lot going on the map this morning. This high is going to eventually shift to the west and create some warmer days today, tomorrow, kind of into Wednesday. And before we get into cooler weather, this is that track, Isel moving off to the coast, or moving away from the coast. We've had a number of fires that have popped up over the last 24 hours, specifically in the Sawtooth area. Kind of point out this one that's about 6 miles northeast of Stanley in the casino area. This is big casino drainage here. There was some planes on this yesterday, including a little a single engine airplane dropping fire retardant down here. Doesn't look like there's any heat signature on that this morning, so that's good. Maybe they caught that when it was early. The other one worth mentioning is this fishhook fire. They did fly over these with a plane yesterday to see if there was any fire. They didn't spend too much time on it, so I'm thinking it might have been a lightning strike that maybe was smoldering a little bit, but as you can see, it's in pretty rocky terrain out in the fishhook, headwaters of the fishhook there on the backside of the sickle for any skiers out there. So keep an eye on that one because it's pretty close to fishhook yurt. And then the crooked fire, I won't go into this too much. I might do another reel. But you can see lots of heat signature on it through the night. This thing is in really steep terrain and kind of hard to manage. And the air quality coming from those fires, you can see a little bit. I think this is actually a fish hatchery in the Sawtooth that has a AQI reader now. So the plume of smoke's been kind of anywhere from Galena Lodge over to Redfish with that. But looks like this morning we're in green in Stanley and in Ketchum, and maybe a little bit of pockets of smoke in the Sawtooth Valley. Today, looking at the smoke forecast, when the crooked fire picks up with that daytime heating, it does look like there is going to be a small plume of smoke. Again, north of Galena Lodge, maybe coming in the evening, all the way to Redfish area. Looking at the rain, her forecast, we are going to have a couple of spotty, very isolated showers in the Wood River Valley this morning. Probably going to be just more virga, moisture not hitting the ground. And then this afternoon thunder showers develop, and it looks like we aren't really going to get anything directly over the Wood River Valley, but the western mountains are going to pick up some moisture, including maybe over the crooked fire. That storm right here looks like it's going to go over the fire. So hopefully it has enough moisture, at least raises the humidity that they can help do something with that fire. And then we have chances again Tuesday afternoon, very spotty, more isolated thunderstorms in the northern part, like we're calling that, around the White Clouds up into the Lost River Range. And Wednesday looks like even more activity. So slight ridging over the next couple of days. This is looking at the thunderstorms. More activity over the evening hours for tonight. And then again tomorrow afternoon, but that's going to be mostly to the north and east in the White Clouds and Lost Rivers. This is looking at Wednesday. This is kind of throwing up the most amount of rain, most in quotation marks, really not too much. Couple hundredths of an inch to maybe a tenth of an inch in summer is kind of dramatic, I would say. It's not that much rain, but it is at the same point. Looks like it's going to be cooler temperatures over the next week with near normal precip. Chances pick up a little bit moving into the beginning of September. After September 9th, it increases. That's pretty far out. Temperatures do look like they can kind of continue to be above normal besides this coming weekends. Looks like we're going to be near normal. So starting out the week in the mid 80s and then dropping to the upper 70s for the rest of the time, which upper 70s is near normal, just a little above normal for us here. Looking at the 500 millibar anomaly, you can see this ridge of high pressure develops again over us, but still is allowing that moisture to come around the back door. This low over here eventually combines forces with some other low that comes down off of Alaska and picks up for over the weekend, where looks like maybe Sunday time frame we're going to see another cold front come through. So increase winds and drop those temperatures down a little bit, and we might see a little moisture. Certainly we'll probably see some thunderstorms, even if they're going to be dry, come out of that. And then there's another one coming right out of the gates after it. And then getting into the later part, we have a tropical depression that's going to move up the coast of Baja, and it starts looking like the northern jet stream track is pushing more into like a late summer fall regimen where we're just having these storm systems come down from Alaska. Crazy heat dome forming up there. This is pretty far out, so it gets kind of a little the models always get a little crazy when you get this far out, but crazy heat dome up there and more activity for overhead here for the mid part of September. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see what happens when it gets that far out.